Making money on Vinted by buying people's old shoes, cleaning them up and reselling them for a profit has never been easier. In fact, this is exactly how I started reselling back when I was just 13 years old. One of the most asked questions I get on my videos is, Sam, how do you clean your pairs to resell? Well, I thought today I'm going to walk you through step by step on how I buy pairs pre-loved, clean them up and resell them for a profit, just like you've seen on the Vinted series on my page, whether it's the 100 to 10k or the 500 to 25k. Every single pair uses this exact process to clean them, prep them, picture them and flip them for a profit. Now, the pair we are using today is these Air Max Plus TNs in black. I picked these up for £20 on the Vinted monitor. Obviously, they are looking a little bit worse for wear, but with 3 simple steps, we are going to get these shining and make a nice profit on them. The 3 steps are: number 1, the cleaning process; number 2, the preparation process; and third, we have the listing process. So without further ado, let's get to cleaning. Here's a quick before on the pair. As you can see, the condition isn't horrific. There is a lot of dirt like on the mesh upper, and obviously the soles are muddy as hell. But without further ado, it's time for the cleaning process. First item we use is a power drill with this brush on the top. 2 different brushes. The black one is softer and then the yellow one is a harder bristle. I mean, these have definitely seen better days. We have this dental pick that just gets rid of all the stones and debris on the soles. Very liquid, does the absolute job. Just make sure you do get it off the uppers because it can leave a weird white stain. And the piece de resistance, the handheld steamer. Be careful, it does come out hot, obviously. I have burnt my hand on it before. Before we actually start cleaning them with the equipment, the first thing we are going to be doing is removing the laces, because they're going to need to clean themselves. It also means that we can clean the tongue properly and the laces aren't going to get in the way when we start cleaning them. The next thing I do is remove any dirt, debris, dry mud, stones, rocks, anything stuck between the grooves or on the undersoles of the shoe, because when the mud gets wet, it becomes a lot harder to clean off. So I get as much of any of the dry pieces off as I can before we get the bottoms of the soles wet. Then we brush off any leftover debris with a dry brush. Now we get that drill head wet. Pause. Now the first step is getting rid of as much of this mud off the soles as possible before we start using soap. So what I'm doing here is literally just warm water and getting rid of as much of that dirt, debris, mud off the soles before we soap it up. Pause. That sounds crazy. I then use a handheld steamer to just spray off anything that is left on the undersoles. And now it's finally time to soap the soles up. And now it's finally time for soap. And now we are doing the first round of soap cleaning on the bottom of the soles. The soap just gets rid of a lot of the bacteria, as well as any leftover dirt and debris that the other previous processes haven't gotten rid of. Then, using a handheld brush, I start cleaning the uppers with warm water and soap. This is obviously to clean as much of the crap and dirt that is in the mesh on the uppers, and the soap obviously gets rid of that. Then we use the handheld steamer again and spray off any of the foam soap on the bottom of the shoes. Then, using a microfiber towel or cloth, we just wipe off any of the pre-existing wetness or dirt or soap off the midsoles and the uppers to get them dry again, as we don't want the soap drying on the uppers because it leaves like a weird sort of white sort of stain. And then we repeat the cleaning process again. So we're cleaning the soles again, then steaming off all the foamy soap and cleaning the uppers again and wiping off all the foamy soap and then steaming it one more time to get anything else off. And this is the first pair that has obviously been cleaned. As you can see, they're just looking a lot shinier, a lot classier, a lot cleaner. And I'm going to quickly show you the other foot now. This is the one that hasn't been cleaned. You can see all the dirt and the grime in the uppers, as obviously in the bubbles, and how dirty the soles are. And here's them side by side. You can see how much better that looks after a couple of minutes work. And now we have some super clean trainers. So step 1 is complete. Time for step 2, the preparation process. Next, we'll be lacing the shoes. It's really, really simple. The bottom row, you go over, then you come out and back over and under and over and under and over till you get to the top. Factory lace the shoes. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull the lace straight, you're going to find the middle point, you're going to loop it through and then pull it tight, and then you've got a factory lace. Then I use a lighter just to burn away any loose threads so the shoes just look perfect. And now it's time to fill the shoe out with some stuffed newspaper. I use 2 to 3 sheets typically. The reason that I prefer using newspaper over anything else is because you can mold the shape to exactly how you want it, as the newspaper is very thin and light, whereas using shoe trees, you can't really get a proper shape. Same with using thicker paper or thicker plastic bags. So I always stick to newspapers, and they're free. If you go to your local train station in the evenings and just pick up a bunch of yesterday's or the day before's metros. And now the shoes are stuffed, we can lace them up tightly so it looks clean and presentable. And then I push the remainder of the laces behind the tongue completely out of the way for photos. And now the shoes are ready. So as you can see, I'm doing the photos here. I am going to go into more detail on a video called How to Sell Sneakers on Vinted, which should come out in the next couple of weeks. But here's just a little bit of the listing process, which is the first thing we do is the photos. But that video will be out soon, so comment down below if you want me to make that.
2 days later.
So the pair actually has already sold. It sold yesterday, 24 hours after making that video, after listing them. They actually sold for £50 on Vinted. As expected, doubled my money for what in essence was probably no more than 20 minutes work. And it is as easy as that. That pair I would say is like a medium dirty. I try and stay away from stuff that has super heavy stainage because it just takes too much time to clean, unless the margin is huge. So there's been a couple football boots that I've bought for like a tenner and then sold and done 100x on them, sold them for 100 quid or something stupid like that. 10x, I mean, not 100x, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's as simple as that. This is the exact method I use for cleaning sneakers to resell. You don't need a crazy setup. That whole setup probably cost me £40. The drill's super cheap on TikTok Shop. In fact, I got all of that on TikTok Shop. You buy a pack of 30 microfibers for £5. The dental kit was about £3. The drill head was about £2. The brushes were about £4. The drill was 15 quid, and then the steamer was 20 quid. So yeah, you don't need to have that. You don't need to use the drill. You don't need to use the steamer. It just does save time, and it does make the shoes a lot cleaner. But yeah, as I said, I am in the process of making a video on how to sell sneakers on Vinted. So if you do want that, comment down below and I will get that out for you as soon as possible. I hope you did enjoy the video. Next video coming out is a Nike outlet one. I know you guys love them. So Thursday, 5:45 p.m, I believe it will be out on the channel. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.